It was a fish after all, huh?
Oh yeah. Oh, it's a pretty fish too. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Slide him right in here. Oh, he ate that thing too now.
Oh yeah.
He ate that thing.
He's gonna be close too, Kurt. What you think?
Grady White Boats' reputation for designing ruggedly elegant fishing boats is legendary. Our attention to quality, detail, and customer service is unmatched. From our Fisherman 180 and Coastal Explorers series to the unrivaled Canyon 456, you'll find no boat that rides better and offers more fishing amenities. Go ahead, experience fishing at its best. Get the Grady.
Hello, welcome to the Carolina Outdoor Journal. Well, today's program is going to take us down to Swansboro, North Carolina. A little late in the season, but it's all about flounder fishing.
It really is, and like you said, it's pretty late in the season for flounder. It's just before they pack up and move out into the ocean for the wintertime. This is the marshes right behind Bogue Inlet near Swansboro, catching a decent-sized flounder, up to about 2 pounds, but we caught a number of them on soft baits. But again, we're pushing the limit on if they're going to be there or not. But real shallow water, you're relying on the tide movement, and but we ended up catching some pretty fish.
What about the gear, Joe?
Pretty simple. Again, using soft baits, single hooks. Again, it's working with a guy who knows the area, knows the fish movements, and we actually tried to be there a little earlier, but the weather last fall was up and down enough to where we just couldn't get in there, but we made it in and caught enough fish and had a good time.
Well, talk about catching fish. Now, Donna's going to take a flounder today and give us a recipe for a firecracker flounder.
Yeah, and it's probably going to be hot. I haven't tried it yet, but it sounds like it's going to be a hot recipe, but if you like flounder, stay tuned. Let's see what she does.
If you like flounder, this show, you're going to enjoy it as we continue on with the Carolina Outdoor Journal.
Rob, I can tell you, it's a mighty pretty morning for it.
Sure is.
If I've ever caught a flounder in November, it was by accident.
That's pretty much what we've been doing, but they've been nice flounder, and there's been bunches of them. So a lot of people forget about flounder this time of year because they start thinking about speckled fish. But
I resemble that remark.
Well, I'm usually the fall victim to it as well. But it's the perfect time of year for them, and there's usually some nice fish around and good numbers of them. So we're going to try to get after them today and see if we can get some pretty ones.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yep.
Rob, this is one of my heavier rods here. I've got 15-pound test on it. Normally I would run some mono or fluorocarbon leader, but I think I'm going to stick with what I got here for the time being.
Yeah, I think you should be fine. Not a lot of oysters and stuff to where you have to worry about it too much.
I'll keep a feel on it.
Yeah, just kind of keep checking it.
If I have one bite it off, you're supposed to say, I told you so. Should have put that leader on there.
Well, we ain't going to have that problem today. Here's your gulp.
Wow, that's a nice big one too.
Yeah, go for the bigger bait, bigger fish.
I like the sound of that.
These whites usually are the best. Flounder usually, of course, like whites.
Yeah, very visible.
This shrimp's about the best bait I use for them. Can cast real good with the wind.
More durable than any of the other twisted tails too.
Yeah, because we're going to get a pinfish bite with it, so it stays intact longer than the other ones. So,
yeah, I've never used these big ones. I use a lot of those little ones.
Yeah, it seems like the big ones, I use a lot of them for redfish too, and it seems like they work the best, out here. You're always dealing with the wind, and it does cast better, so.
Rob, are we fishing a drop-off at the mouth of this creek, or are we just hoping that mullets and bait fish will be coming in and out of this creek and flounders be in the front of it?
I think it's a combination of both. There is a little drop-off at these creek mouths, but pretty much this is a main channel that runs to the inlet, and there is a series of creeks here. And what it is like this morning, we got a high falling tide, and these fish will get out in front of these creeks. And like you said, they're waiting for the bait. Mullet, mud minnows, shrimp, things like that to come sweeping out, so they can kind of ambush it as it comes out of there.
I don't know. It's
hooked up.
I ain't felt him yet. Yeah, there you are. He was out a little further.
Oh, he's gonna be short, but it's
he's
a
gonna
start.
Be short. Yeah, I'm gonna start somewhere, Henry.
Start.
Can you tell the difference in a summer and a southern flounder?
I can. Oh, let's see here. This one here,
Which are you gonna smell like when you go home?
This one looks like it could be a summer. Oh, oh man.
And how do you tell?
Usually, the southern flounder are usually really dark, don't have any spots on them, and usually they're thick and wider. I noticed with the summer flounder, they're usually a little narrower, and they do have a definitive white spots on them, and they're not as thick. It doesn't seem like.
Which has the more spots?
The summer does.
Summer.
Yeah. The cool thing about this spot is you're going to catch both in here, because it's kind of a place both of them have it. You know, it depends on the time of year. I would say this time of year we're catching more southern flounder with the cooler water. But you know, in the spring and in the summer, you're catching a lot of summer flounder because the inlet's, you know, less than a mile away from us here, and that's, you know, there's
I
fish
get
are
them
moving in.
confused. It's hard for me to tell the difference.
Well, I can tell you usually those ones that you catch that might be about 7 or 8 pounds usually are your southern flounder.
There he was, up here towards the boat.
Oh yeah.
He might go home too.
That's a nice one, look like. Oh yeah, he's close.
I can see some spots on him.
Kurt, what do you think? That might be a keeper.
Might be.
He feels
They
thick.
got a big old mouth on him, haven't they?
I'll tell you, you can use a big bait because they.
It always amazes me how those teeth really go in at a sharp angle. When he gets hold of your finger, a bait or anything.
Well, you know, probably one of the worst cuts I've ever had from a fish was off a flounder. Just by accidentally sticking my finger in there.
It doesn't come out easy. He's a pretty fish.
He is, he's pretty. Let's put him on the
Line
stick.
him up.
You want to see
Yeah,
what he
see if he'll
does?
measure. But predominantly a tide-driven bite.
It is. I mean, you really want that high falling. You know, you will catch them on any tide, but if you're going to do this, you want to make sure it's probably high falling, and that's usually your best bet to have some success at it.
It is some clear water.
It is. We got some pretty water here. It's always clear, unless we have some bad wind or rain. It's always clear here. We got some of the prettiest water you can see.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I don't know. He's getting heavier closer to the
That's
boat.
good. You want, if he's a big one, he'll swim right on.
Oh yeah. I think it's a pretty decent fish, Kurt.
Going right on by, that's always a good sign, and we haven't seen him.
Oh, he's staying down.
It's that old stingray.
Oh yeah.
Look at the dirt coming off of him.
Pretty fish. Oh. Pretty fish. Oh, get him, Kurt. What do you say, buddy?
Well, good job, Dana. He's pretty.
Kurt got the line in your head.
You can catch us all, can't you?
Yeah, man. You gonna be the guide this time?
Yeah, I'll take him out there and look at him.
Oh, that's fat fish, ain't it?
Mm-hmm. Summer or southern?
I think that's a summer. See the white spots on him?
Yeah, look, he's got a little, a few sea lice on him now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice thick fish too, about that one I just caught.
Yeah, I mean, that's, you know, there's some of these fish. I mean, you know, there's a lot of little fish, but there's some really nice, good eating, good table fair sized fish mixed in here with
That's a
them.
pretty fish there.
You know, but what do you think, about 1.5 pounds, almost 2 pounds?
Well, certainly less than 2, but he's a nice fish. Thick.
Yep, thick fish.
It was a fish after all, huh?
Oh yeah. Oh, it's a pretty fish too. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Slide him right in here. Oh, he ate that thing too now.
Oh yeah.
He ate that thing.
All right, Kurt, got another pretty one.
Yeah.
He might be close. What do you think?
I think he's close, but I believe he'll probably go.
Yeah, he's fat, just thick, looks like the rest of them.
One thing about it, when Flounder takes it, he takes it, don't he?
Yes, sir. Let's see if we can come right here and measure him. Oh yeah. About 15 and a quarter, almost 15 and a half inches.
Yeah. You want to take him full advantage on his back like that? Pretty fish.
Yes, sir.
Well, Rob, we're here mid-November. It's not a bad bite going on. You said it wouldn't last much longer. When does it start?
Well, We actually, like you said, are on the tail end of it, but you know, it really is good back in these areas through the summer, but October, middle October, 1st of November is when it's really on that time of year. There's a lot of bait, lots of finger mullet back here, and that's like ringing the dinner bell to those flounder. You know, they just that's I think their primary forage, and they just sit back here and gorge themselves on them. But pretty much from about late September, I guess you would say, beginning of November is when it's the best. But October is the best, the absolute best month.
Absolute best.
Oh, speaking of best.
Good job. Swing him right on around here. I don't know if he'll quite go.
Gonna be close. He hit it like a big one though.
That's good. Maybe to get a little more.
No, he's gonna be short, but still. That's definitely a summer.
Definitely some because of the white spots.
Definitely white spots, light color flounder.
I'm assuming they don't interbreed.
I have no clue. I don't think they
Yeah.
do, but I have no clue. Probably about a 13-inch fish.
He's pretty.
Yes, sir. Let's put him back so he can grow another day. Yes, buddy.
You pulled him right out of where I've been fishing on that side.
I hate to do it to you.
Man, you go ahead and do it to me. Get out of your way here.
Oh yeah, we clear.
Let's see if I can't beat him over this net for you.
Uh-oh. Don't do that to me.
I like the way he's staying down.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, look at there.
Bring him on over here.
There we go.
He'd be borderline, but he's
borderline, but he felt good too.
yeah.
I tell you.
Got a little mud left on his belly there, hadn't he?
I believe we threw over him about 5 times.
I know I did.
Well, that's my first cast over there, but
Yeah,
I know
well,
you
maybe
worked
we'll
that
catch another one over there.
Yeah, you can definitely see where he's been laying.
You get that mouth open, you get it out of there.
He's been laying a while. You can see the mud on him. Pulled him right off the mud. He might.
Those black spots mixed in there.
Yes, sir. He might be a keeper. Let's put him on the scale here and see what we got.
Stretch it out there. I don't mind fishing for dinner.
Oh yeah.
Not quite, huh?
He's tight enough to it, but we're gonna let him go. We already got a few to eat.
That's right.
Let him get a little bigger.
Catch him next year.
That's right. He'll be 4 pounds next year.
How old do you think that fish is?
I believe he's probably a year and a half old, I would think, wouldn't you think?
I would think so.
Yeah.
I heard that the first year they're supposed to grow like 13 inches, but I don't know how reliable that was, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't either. I mean,
You know, if it sounds too good to be true.
yeah. that means by their second year they'll be 26 inches, right?
Well, they slow down after that, but still.
Yeah.
Rob, this is a pretty little place along here.
It is. It's probably the best place in this whole channel creek here. If you can, hard to notice, but it's a bend. As you know, there's always deeper water in the bends, and you got 3 creeks that come to this spot. So there's a lot of bait. Oh, got a stick there, and a lot of bait, and a lot of fish are laying here a lot of times.
I'm feeling a little more on the bottom too.
Yeah, there's a little more oyster here, so it's just a perfect place for a flounder, especially to be laying. Good tidal movement, deep water, bait. You can't ask for the three best things there for a flounder. Got that one right at the boat,
He's
didn't he?
staying down.
Oh goodness, look at there. Look at there.
Well,
You stuck with that big bait.
well, I did.
and
You were
it paid-
catching more, but
it
I did
paid
try to
off for
stick
you.
with it.
That's a pretty fish, Kurt.
You know, when he hit that thing, it almost felt like a bluefish.
Yes.
You know, look at the mouth on that thing.
He could eat pretty much whatever he wants.
I'm trying to keep it from being a finger here.
Yeah. I don't think people really realize how big their mouths are. Look at that thing.
Let me get a grip on him.
Yeah, that old jig.
There's the hook.
There
Came
you
all
go.
the way through. Look at his tail, kind of worn and thick right there.
Yeah, you could see where his belly looked like it was scratched up where he's laying in that oysters like we were talking about through here.
I'll check that line before
I would. I certainly would.
if I get it out of there.
You got him hooked good too, don't you, buddy?
He's hooked good.
Right, nice fish. Oh, I believe.
Look at him digging that mud.
Oh, look at there.
Digging that mud.
Kurt.
Bring him over here.
My man.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, buddy?
I think that didn't take long. That's your first cast here.
I believe he about took the rod out of my hand when he hit it. He swallowed her.
Southern. He looks narrow, but the spots ain't showing up that
I
good.
believe that's a summer, or a southern, I mean.
Southern?
Yeah, I believe
That's
so.
what I said about
See how
what you
dark
told
he
me.
is?
Uh-huh.
And no white spots.
He
Thick.
sucked that thing in, didn't he?
He sure did. I'm gonna have to borrow them pliers again.
He's a pretty fish. Looking forward to seeing him golden brown.
With some hush puppies.
Mm-hmm.
And some House of Autry.
When you get them hooked, they're hooked, aren't they?
Yeah. Not being as gentle since I know where this one's going.
Pretty fish. Let me
Pretty.
find one. You got first cast.
Get back over there and get you one.
Joe, that was just a good morning for fishing.
It really was. You know, it was early November, and again, this is the time of year where these fish are just about ready to move on, out the inlet and into the ocean. Our flounder, that's what they do in the wintertime. They move out the inlets all the way up and down the coast, spend the winter offshore, and then in the spring they'll come back in. And so we were pushing the limit. We had tried, as I mentioned earlier, to get in earlier. The weather just didn't allow it. But Rob had been on the fish, said, hey, trust him that the fish would be there, and they were.
They certainly were. Now, let's go to Gear Time and find out more.
Rob, that was a lot of fun.
It certainly was. Everything was perfect today. We had the right tide, right weather, water clarity was perfect, and there was fish here, and everything turned out to be exactly the way we wanted it to be.
Across the board, a good class of fish. Well, we had all the fish that we threw back was nice flounder.
Yeah, I mean, they were all pretty much keeper size, which sometimes ain't the case, but today it was.
Yeah.
A lot of, what do you say, pound and 3/4, some of them up to two.
Yeah, I'd say
2.5
pushing
pounds.
2.
Yeah, so.
Tackle we were using this was 15-pound test line on a bait caster. Yours was actually using braided line.
Yep, 20-pound braid. I use a 20-pound fluorocarbon. It doesn't fray as bad. It's invisible. I think it cuts down on break-offs and also get more bites that way, I feel like. But you went with no leader, and you didn't have a problem either.
I was 15-pound test line, and I was thinking about actually putting some on. I threw off a couple baits that the fish had nicked the line, and just in chunking it threw them off, but I never actually lost a fish. I didn't do that good a job checking it, and I should have been more, but we were catching fish, and I was just trying to get it out there.
Yes, sir. You had me concerned a couple times.
Gulp was probably the only thing we used.
It was, you know, the gulp baits catch all the 3 big inshore species, but I believe the flounder really love them. We mainly use white shrimp. I also use the jerk shads. It's a 5-inch jerk shad. I was using a 3-inch shrimp. You were using a 4-inch. You stuck with the big one, I know, and you actually caught a couple nicer fish.
Well, I
on
was
that.
trying. I could throw it better with a bait caster,
Exactly.
and that was big bait, big fish. Something to be said for that.
Yep,
You know.
and there is something to be said for it. But pretty much the white in color is generally, I think, the best color for flounder. You had a natural on there, and you caught some nice fish on that too. So
Just because it's more visible, do you think?
I think so. I think, and I think a flounder lays on the bottom, and he sees. You know, if you think a lot of the bait fish are white on the bottom, so that kind of is keys them to feed. I think so.
Well, I really enjoyed it. It was simple, it was quick, we were right on the fish. Good tug from those flounder. We got some good fish to eat. And this is the latest I've ever actually targeted flounder in a year.
Yeah.
And caught them. And I came with the right guy to do that.
Oh, well, I had fun, and I appreciate it.
I hope we get a chance to do it again. Good
Anytime.
seeing you.
Thank you.
Thanks, fellas, for that information. Now, if you'd like to get in touch with Rob, his number is on your screen. Feel free to give him a call, and hope that you'll have a good day. Now, let's catch up with Donna. She continues on with our flounder storyline today, and she's got one for Firecracker Flounder.
today in the kitchen we're making a firecracker flounder. It is a great recipe, and we're gonna add a little spice to it. So when you're out fishing and you catch your flounder, this is a great way to do it, to make it a little bit spicy, maybe for one of those holidays when you're gonna shoot off some fireworks. It's a great way to do this. So what we're gonna do, we have our flounder fillets already ready to go. They're gorgeous, nice and white and clear and beautiful. We're gonna take a bag of our fish fry and place it on to our wax paper. And then I'm gonna spice mine up. You can spice it as much as you want. I'm gonna use about 1/4 of a cup of the hot and spicy, or the spicy hot butter, but you can add more if you guys like it hotter. Or you can start out and add, for those who like it hot, you can add as you go along. So we're just gonna toss that together. And then I'm going to take my flounder fillets. We're gonna dredge that into our breader and coat it fully. And I like to flip mine over, and you can see it just adheres really nicely. And then we're gonna shake off a little extra, and we're gonna place it into our hot oil and just let that cook for a couple minutes until it's nice and golden brown on either side. And then you're ready to go. So you do this other one, and we'll move on, and I'll show you what they look like when they come out, because they're so good, nice and crunchy and some great flavor. We're going to let those cook for 3 or 4 minutes, just until they're nice and golden brown and cooked throughout. And it depends on how thick your fillets are, how long you let it cook. So this is going to cook, and then I have some that are already finished. They're nice and golden brown. I've served them with some hutch puppies, because that's just a traditional thing to have with your flounder, especially if you're at the beach. And then some great cold slaw. You can also put in some great cocktail sauce, or some tartar sauce is always a great accompanying dish as well. So I hope you enjoyed this firecracker flounder, and I look forward to seeing you next time here on Simple Cooking.
Thanks, Donna, for another great recipe. Joe, let's go back to the flounder. It was a good morning.
It really was. You know, Rob, that's one of his specialties, flounder fishing, red drum, speckled trout. He's just an all-around good, great saltwater guide that we've got based in Swansboro. And but again, we were pushing that limit where the right temperatures may have moved those fish on off. And we had tried earlier several times to go in, but it's a combination of the tide movement, the wind. A lot of factors play into catching our saltwater fish. A lot of times, to really have a good morning, you need tide movement. And so the previous couple of trips that we took, we couldn't do anything, and mainly because of the weather. But the fishing starts to go down in November, and if we have a mild November, sometimes it'll
Right.
go right into December. But this November we got lucky, and the fish were there, and just had a great day.
It's just a good day in Swansboro.
Absolutely.
For Joe Albee, I'm John Moore. Thanks for joining us today on the Carolina Outdoor Journal.
Make sure to visit our website for more information.
Grady White boats are known for uncompromising quality through exceptional attention to detail. On every model, from 18 to 45 feet, we incorporate exclusive features and quality components that you won't find on any other boat brands. Our exclusive CV2 hull design is ranked highest in every third-party survey done in the marine industry. So every day on the water will be a great day, no matter the conditions. Ask any Grady White owner and they'll tell you, get the Grady.